not good. This is not good. Oh no. Shoot. Oh my God. That was amazing. Life is awesome. Danger zone. Well, it is the morning of day 3. I'm a little behind schedule. I got out of bed at 8 o'clock this morning, which is very late for me on these trips. I've been struggling with sleeping, and I went back to my old pillow, and I got a couple hours sleep this morning, which is a beautiful thing. So I'm not upset at all. Absolutely gorgeous out. The last 2 days, the water has been so calm. It's been ridiculous. You get wind for a moment, and then flat, calm waters. I just keep getting these shots where the mountains come down into the water line, and it looks like sound waves, basically. Like if you've seen sound waves on a computer. So cool. Usually you get those shots every once in a while. And yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna eat my breakfast, slam my coffee, clean up, and we are gonna get on the water. Something I missed on the campsite tour there yesterday was there's legit outhouses here, which I'm not frowning upon it. Like, boom, there's even hand sanitizer. Now, I haven't noticed if all of them have hand sanitizer or not, but I'm not against an outhouse. Not against it. BC in general, everywhere you go, there's rest areas, garbage cans, and toilets. They have them everywhere. There's a lot of people traveling here, and they make sure that people have the facilities to do the business. So that's a nice thing about BC. I'll give you guys that. It's really nice.
got it. I don't have it, I see it.
Oh no. Oh boy. Alright. Here goes my attempt at running these rapids. Oh, my anxiety's at an all-time high. Which I guess you might want to be on your knees. I don't know if you do want to be on your knees. I can't do it. Speechless, but we did it. Oh, and we are back with wet feet. Okay, so I went through the main chute there, is what it's called. I was very anxious going in. The first couple that went through, because there ended up being a crowd there, they ended up dunking, and yeah, it made me very nervous to do it. But another person went. I kind of seen they just went a little bit too early when they were slowing down and trying to pull out, eddy out. But we do have more ahead here, so. Yeah, anyways, I gotta focus on what I'm doing. But yeah, I did not talk through that whole thing because I was so anxious on what was going on. Just trying to see if there's any rocks. That definitely looks rocky. Yeah. Here we go, baby. Oh, okay, that one's not bad. There's just that one rock in the center. Oh, that was a bad move. Do not get up mid-river. The water here, I know you can't see that, but it's so blue. It is amazing. I guess it's similar to Lake Ontario a bit, but just more vibrant. Not bad, fucking shallow. That one was pretty mellow. Let's make sure we get out of here. Little log. Oh god. Well, just in case. The strap's snipping in. Here we go. Did I hit this one on? Oh yeah, baby. Oh, pay attention. Pay attention, Brian. Oh no. This is not good. This is not good. Oh no. Shoot! Oh, I made it over that rock. Well, I just clapped a rock. It might not have been as bad as I thought. Yeah, I got kind of nerve-wracking. Canoe pull out ahead. Okay. All right, so we have made it past the rapids, and there was a waterfall there. That was the Isaac Falls. I was going to keep my camera away because there's supposed to be some logs down and some sweepers that could kind of take you out. But it's so beautiful in here, so I'm gonna do my best to be cautious and just keep the camera on hand because I want to capture as much of this as possible. But I've lost some time today messing around in those rapids and all of the fun that was had. Talked to a bunch of people, but that's what this is all about. So you gotta enjoy it while you're out here, and how can't you with a view like this? We are quickly running out of daylight here. I'm hoping to find a site here. I'm probably just gonna have to succumb and ask somebody if I can stay on the site. There's 3 in a row here that's supposed to have 4 or 5 pads on them. The water is that crazy blue that you see in pictures all over. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, it's been another long day of paddling. I'm ready to set up shop, or we're gonna have to get the headlamp out. Oh yeah, and my shirt that I took off earlier is absolutely soaked from sitting in the bottom of my canoe. That's why it just nips out. Alright, it is the next morning. I did end up having to share the campsite. The sun was basically down when I got in there. So I just made food quick and put up the tent and hopped in. I feel really bad this morning. I had to get up. I have a bit of a headache going on, which there's a forest fire not too far from here and there's smoke everywhere. I'm assuming that has something to do with it. So kind of felt like I woke everyone up, but I just need to get moving. Yeah. I ended up being in between two couples. And have you ever done a solo canoeing trip and really wanted to be even more alone? It's when you're in between two couples that kind of like each other, because that sucked. I felt like I was interrupting something so bad the whole time. Like, they just seemed so happy, and then here I am just making noise and just, I don't know. You feel awkward because you're not talking to anyone, so anyway, that was my experience last night. Yeah. Anyways, right now we're gonna go check out a waterfall, which is off the beaten path, but I think it is worth checking out since we're probably only doing this loop once in our life. Also, the lake that we're going to is supposed to have majority of the wildlife sightings happen here. A family of bears, some moose, and I think they said something else. So anyways, we'll see if they're there today. We can only hope. I've made it to the spot where the falls are. I'm gonna make my breakfast and a coffee because I skipped that this morning, just got out of there. In the sand. Yeah, then we're gonna go do this trail. This lake is known for wildlife, moose, bear, as I said. Definitely gonna have to put my stuff away, but you can barely see the shoreline on this lake. That's how bad the smoke is. So I'm gonna have to take it easy today because obviously the air conditions are not good. go again.
Hey.
Oh, man. That waterfall was absolutely stunning. It was much bigger than I was honestly expecting, and then as I'm coming around the corner, it sounded like a train was ahead. But yeah, super cool to see that. I've moved on, I've done a portage, and I'm on a new lake, and the smoke just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Like, I can see it just in front of me. It's hard to see on the camera, but like, here's the mountains just ahead. So yeah, not good. I'm assuming honestly that the forest fire might be on one of the lakes up ahead. So we'll see when we get there, but yeah, I'm gonna put as many miles in between me and here as I can, and we'll see how far we make it. I want to get to either the last couple campsites or maybe we leave today, depending on how good I do on time. Who's got wet feet? I'm in the sand still. Don't eat that. But this. That is good stuff. So I've moved past Spectacle Lake, and I guess that is where the fire was last night. And they said to get it under wraps, but right behind me here on that mountain, I see a puff of smoke going up right now. So I don't know if it's a new fire or that original one just popped up. You can hear helicopters going around and planes. Pretty crazy to be that close to this kind of stuff. The smoke does seem to have gotten better since I've moved forward here. I mean, better than it was. It's still pretty bad, but I'm glad I'm close to the truck. Well, kind of. So I've made the decision to keep paddling tonight. I've got about 3 hours to make it the next 12 kilometers. I could have camped behind me. I actually met a really nice couple too that I've been talking to at the portages, but I kind of want to do it just to push myself, see how far I can go. And I also have a lot I want to do in BC while I'm here. I have a couple more days and I want to make the most of it, so knocking off 3 to 4 hours of paddling tonight saves me that in the morning. Pretty wild. I did most of this loop in 3 days. I only did 7 kilometers of the 116 for the first day. So, yeah. Anyways, cool part is this little paddle here is some of my favorite paddling of all time. Is little creeks, rivers. You get the little Y's and S's. I don't know why, I've always loved that. And I get one last look at the mountains. All right, guys, I have made it back from BC. It's been about a month. I'm editing up these videos, and I'm coming to realize I didn't do any outro for this canoe trip. So what ended up happening the rest of that day is I just paddled and paddled and paddled. I did make it back just in time. I had to put on the headlamp to strap down the canoe on the roof. So I ended up camping at their little campground they have at the gate of the park, I will say. It's basically there so people that are either coming to go out on a trip or coming back have somewhere to camp. It's like $18 a night or something like that. So I ended up just crashing there in the truck. In the morning, I went back to grab some of my food I had left at the office because I was living on the road for 30 days there, so I had everything in the back of the truck. Didn't want any issues with bears for myself and anybody else there. So yeah, I thank you guys for doing that for me. But yeah, that was a pretty amazing trip, I must say. Obviously, the mountains and everything are just absolutely beautiful, and it's just a different experience than the typical Ontario Canadian Shield canoe camping. I mean, yeah, the mountains. It's BC. It is what you're there for, to see that stuff and to be just in it, looking up at those. Unfortunately, didn't get to do a hike in this trip due to these forest fires. So that forest fire, although it wasn't a very large forest fire, you could see how much smoke was affecting it. The third night there in the sunset shot, that's actually not a cloud coming up. That's the smoke that was coming up the night before. And I had actually seen the helicopters and the planes fighting this fire. And then that fourth day, like, the smoke was brutal. I did see a helicopter going back and forth to a different lake for water, feeding that fire, trying to put it out. And I couldn't get a good shot of it with my long lens, but it's pretty crazy to just see something like that, to be that close. Obviously, it's probably not that great for your health, but that's what we're living in. Like, a lot of Ontario had a lot of forest fires, but BC was very bad once I got down to the midsection, down to the south end. Like, there was roads that were closed due to forest fires. I had to take different routes. I never, as I said, did a hike because I would go to the top of the mountain and I may see something, but not the true visual that I wanted to capture. So yeah, it's a very real thing all over Canada. And it was very interesting to be that deep in it. But yeah, the Bowron Lake canoe route is something to definitely check out. I mean, it is a bit of a drive, of course, if you're from Ontario, but it's something that is really worth it if you have the time. For me, this is the most involved I felt with BC, and I think it's just due to because that's something that I feel connected to. I feel connected to canoe camping. It is something I've always enjoyed. It helps me really get in touch with my surroundings, get away from everything that is the computer screens and the technology, the phone. But also, it's doing hard things. That is what I really came to know. I've learned this over the past few years, but I was struggling with my trip in general, just being on the road, driving a lot, going from place to place. And I've learned that I really have to do hard things. Like, I ended up doing this loop in a shorter period of time than expected. But pushing myself in that way gave me more mental clarity. And I need to push myself. It may not always be canoe camping, or maybe I need to start doing the gym or something like that. But pushing myself physically and mentally makes me feel more at peace. So it's something I've learned about myself, and I'm sure a lot of people can connect with that. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I got a lot of videos coming up, so stay tuned.